for you. Man,
So Anton, I'm very sorry.
Hello, team. Here we are. Michael Walz, Julie Guinea. How are you, team? So we got a new look panel today just for this week. Jules is Ros today. He's in Ros's seat. Jules is pretty.
I don't have green on though.
I know.
Ros has green.
I know.
I didn't get the memo either.
No.
And Jules is not as happy to be here as Ros usually is. Hey, Dave Bowen, how are you, baby?
Well, no. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm ecstatic to be here.
Well said.
Ecstatic.
Well said. Now, how do we get Jules on there?
There we go.
Let's push that back there. And of course, we've got the fantastic Michael Walz, who's going to talk us through ATQ soon, which we're going to hear about. Apprentices and Trainees Queensland.
Yep.
So really excited to hear about that.
Yep.
Can we just do Big Dale Thompson's there? Amanda Walz.
Oh.
Go, Amanda. Let's talk Gladstone first, if that's okay. So we always do a bit of Gladdo first. And Gladdo, what's going on in Gladstone this weekend? Do we know?
I don't know about this weekend, but yesterday I had the day of openings yesterday. The CQU's new campus, the relocation of the TAFE, and check out all their new buildings. Checked out the hairstylist and the massage. It didn't help me, but the mechanical and electrical sheds look good.
Isn't that great?
And then Berg Engineering have got a new Titan machine. So yeah, it was a day of openings yesterday.
And Steve Walters was in town.
He
for
was
Berg
at
Engineering.
Correct. That was great. And Benny Eichen as well.
Was he?
Yeah, they were both there. Yeah.
Right.
You missed him.
And I missed him. Yeah, I know. I've got a photo with Steve Walters.
Excellent.
And we had the Gore meet the board members last night too.
Yep.
That was really cool.
Yep.
That was really cool.
Yeah, busy day.
It actually was a really busy day in town, which was good. Enjoyed that. And then, of course, I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to speak to the Miss Gladstone entrance at Runway 7. So big shout out to Runway 7. Like Lyndon Innes is doing some amazing things with the young ladies up there, training them up, getting them ready to sort of do stuff that takes a lot of confidence, I would have thought, as a young lady. We didn't have daughters, baby, so we don't really...
No girls here. All
blue?
boys. All blue.
All blue. And so it was really nice to sort of see these young girls and sort of help them and stuff. And then on the way there, the heavens opened up.
Oh, that was
WTF.
it was big yesterday.
I rang Jules. I was scared. Didn't I, babe?
You did.
I said, I'm a bit scared, baby.
We didn't have
I
power
said,
until
you'll be
9.
okay.
Jules had to talk me through it.
You'll be okay.
And there was a lady that turned up, no shit, a young girl. She's on a P, she just got a P's, and she was driving, and the heavens opened up. She freaked out. She turned up in tears.
Oh.
I know, it was so sad. What was beautiful about it, though, was that she told the story amazingly well. So she got in there in tears, like, oh, this happened and that happened, and it was so. And I said to all the other girls, watch her. That's public speaking. Telling a story with a bit of emotion. Oh, hello, Melissa Odell. How are you, love? Brad, who?
And Raylene.
Luke Dunn, Raylene Marshall, Amanda Walz, and Big Dale Thompson. Right, so that's Gladstone. Don't know what's going on this weekend.
Well, I do.
What is, baby?
Anton's Nan turns 100 today.
Thanks, baby. Cass.
So we just went and had a tree planting ceremony for her, which the National Seniors organise if you turn 100 and you're a resident of Gladstone. And then they put on an afternoon tea, and then we're having a big 100th birthday party tomorrow. So as Zach said,
Excellent.
what do we do at a 100th birthday party? Well, probably not the same as his 21st.
A bit different to his
Might be a
No
bit
yard
different than his
glasses.
21st. So yeah, so happy birthday, Nan, which Anton's favourite auntie is going to be watching this afternoon as well. So shout out to the family who travelled up as well.
Good on
Congratulations.
you, Jules. Congrats. And I think, how good's the Gladstone Regional Council?
Yep.
Seriously. Like, good on the council. Ooh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Reid, how are you, Ned? How are you?
Hello, Annette Reid.
So, council was there. Councillor Rick Hansen was there. He goes to a lot of these things. How do I know? Because he came to our other grandma's 100th about 3 months ago, which is really, really cool. And there was a couple of council employees there. So they actually bring some employees. They put on the function for it today. But
That's good.
they help us. There was a council worker, get this, who helped us plant the tree for Nan.
Isn't that
Like,
amazing?
dug the hole, did all this. And it was just really, really cool. Like, hey,
And old Nanny,
Danielle,
Nanny had the shovel, shoveled the dirt in at
Did she?
100. Yep.
Isn't that great?
So it was great to see. So
Mm.
then they put a plaque up on a big tree there, and it has every centenarian that Gladstone. Centenarian, that's it.
So how many are there?
Oh, what'd they say?
30 since 2000.
There we are, 30
30
since
in
2000.
Gladstone.
So
There you
Well,
if you're a
I can hardly
Gladstone
baby.
resident, then they get to do that. So
G'day, Jenny
yeah,
Hayward.
pretty special that
That's excellent.
we've had two 200th birthdays within the last 6 months on Anton's side of the family, and my granddad lived to 102, so there's a bit of longevity in the
Yeah.
We'll be in nursing homes together, mate. As our kids tell us all the
Zach's
time.
gonna be happy with that.
He's going to be saying, when are you going?
I keep asking which
Yes,
one of them's
BG under sufferance, I'm in the house.
Oh, yeah. Mrs. G and Jody Luce and Lee and Patrick. And I keep asking the boys which one of them is going to wipe my bum.
Oh.
And they both say Jules or the nursing home nurses. So there's no love there at all.
No, not much.
And what else was I going to tell you?
So that's on this weekend.
So that's on this weekend. Yeah, really special. No, I really enjoyed it. So now, that's Gladstone. Leadership, life and love. Let's go to leadership first. Let's talk.
We're going to go to love.
Would you,
first.
or let's do it backwards. Let's do love. And I'll tell you why Mrs. Guinea's here today. Because last week Ros wasn't available either. And it was Valentine's Day.
Oh, it was.
And everyone gave a shout out and said, why wasn't Mrs. G on doing Valentine's Day with you?
Did you get a Valentine?
I did.
Oh.
You did. Very
Every
good.
year he gives me a Valentine's present.
Mwah.
Every year.
Absolutely.
So yeah, certainly did. So it's good.
And how good a husband is he?
Oh.
He's actually, somebody said today, and if you follow, Anton has these, what is it, 25 things you needed to learn or something?
21 life
Oh,
experience.
close enough. 21 life experiences, and number 13, another teacher made comment on it today, and she said, oh my gosh, Anton was so sweet in his message. And that was the one when
Stop it.
we first met, and the first words I ever uttered to Anton under a cloud of cigarette smoke with a vodka in the other hand
Drunk it loud.
was, you don't talk much, do you?
And I said, I can't get a word in edgewise. Said, you're doing enough talking.
All those years ago.
30 years this year it is.
30 years this year.
Congratulations.
Isn't that
That's awesome.
special, eh?
It is.
Yeah.
Really lucky, aren't we, babe? And
Yeah.
I'm the lucky one. I know that. Corinne Wright, Jason Burke, and Leanne Patrick says hello, Mrs. G too. So, babe.
Yeah.
I, being a great husband, Paul, please thanks for joining us. And like one of the better ones.
Yeah, give yourself a round.
So what I thought I'd do last Friday, I went to shout out to Candy Couture. Thanks for joining us, Sharon Bell. How good do they do? You
Excellent.
thinking that?
Excellent. Not for a while. The kids love it in there, though.
Wonder why.
And it's just near a school.
Yeah. Wonder why.
Sandy
Mick Bruton.
Mick Bruton.
Sandy.
Wow, Melissa Odell's laughing. And so I thought I'd go in there and get a whole lot of stuff for Jill, which I did, and the whole thing and stuff, and flowery chocolates and stuff. Because I also had the Uralla Fitness Centre team building day last Friday, which is pretty special. So get into Uralla team, great gym. And I was hoping, is it wrong to hope that your wife forgets Valentine's Day so that you can say, look, I remembered and you forgot? But what happened, baby Cass?
I was out there first. I had my gift and my card was there first. And he's like, oh, I thought you would have forgotten.
You did well.
So yes.
Because everyone says it's so commercial. And I just think that's crap. Because I think it's a good chance to show a bit of love.
That's right.
George Bailey, Nudgee College. So,
So-
Jules, what's the secret, babe? Seriously, from your perspective, 30 years.
30 years. I would say there's many things I could
Be
say.
gentle.
I will be saying patience. Patience. As Anton always says, what do you say? You're very lucky. And I say I'm very patient. He always tells me how lucky I am. I said I'm very patient. No, I think it is. Actually, I was thinking about this because Anton said, now this is what I'm going to ask you. But I think that right very early on, and if there was ever any young couples just starting out, I would have this exact, what do you call it? Advice, yeah. Is that we made a commitment very early on never to swear at each other, and we've never have. In 30 years, well, I mean, I swear, don't get me wrong, and so does Anton.
Not much, though.
but we never swear at each other and never have. And so I've always had that healthy respect, I think. So we've always done that. And so I think, that healthy respect for each other have always been there. And I think that's a secret. And, I think it's also, it's like, if I'm going away somewhere, I could just say, hey, I'm going here. And Anton would never argue or ever say no, but I'd just say, I always ask, do you mind if I go and do this? So even though I'm going to go and do it anyway,
A lot of respect.
but you respect the other person. I think that's the secret. That's my secret to longevity, is that respect. And he would respect me for 1,000,000 years and 1,000 more. So I'm very fortunate to be married to Anton. There'll be plenty others who would like that opportunity.
Thank you, baby.
And I'm very patient as well.
Oh, very patient.
Very patient.
Tell you what.
Even Zach says, what were you thinking? Just asking, Mum. What were you thinking?
I know, some days that you must really struggle. Jason Story, Yui COO, has joined us, one of the most influential people in that building. And good on Jason. I'll tell you what, Michael, this is one for us as leaders. I did a tour. Stores was Nudgy Boy. I was lucky to give him out. I was lucky enough to do a tour with him yesterday. Took me through their building. People. What can we do for you? And build stuff and entertainment area. They had a yoga person there doing yoga in the middle of one of their floors. So Jace, really, really big rap to you, man. Luke Bryce, Michelle O'Brien, and Chantel Lane, and Melissa Odell. I was super romantic too. I bought mine in Mentos.
That was their gift to Mentos.
They should do. And can I just on behalf of the groom, so I think that you're right. I think the respect is a big thing. I think the fact that we're aligned in our values, right from the start, is really important. And I know that sounds weird. I just even think back to when we were young. We sort of knew how many kids we wanted to have, how we want to get married before we live together. That we just had a whole lot of stuff lined up fairly early. And I think being honest with each other early on was really, really important, and we stuck to most of that. So we got married before we moved in together. Not that that's good, bad, or ugly. And you do whatever that's not the right thing to do. Do whatever you want. It's just we chose to do that.
And I've said things looking back on it too. When we first got married, we were living in Western Australia. So we literally, when you go around and say goodbye to people at your wedding, we were literally saying goodbye because we were moving to WA.
Yeah, literally.
And so when we were over there, we were there for 4 years, and there was just us, no family, nobody else around. So you had to learn to rely on each other.
Learn to get on,
and learn to get on, and learn that you had to be there for each other. And I think that was probably one of the great things. There was no other outside influences of as much as love mother-in-laws and father-in-laws, but and mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters all have advice, whereas there was just us. So I think it was oh, don't worry, I get that all the time.
Because my love language is words of affirmation. So.
Yes. And mine is?
Gifts and quality time.
Well, quality time first, but gifts second, but yes.
So if I want to get in the good books, it's like, babe, Matty Jones, ex-club owner. What can I do?
Oh, yeah. Read those 5 love languages, which I've heard you talk about that before.
Yeah, have you read it? Oh, don't thank me now, bro. Don't thank me now.
But it's like Anton would say, oh, look, I put on a load of washing for you. And I'm like, great, thanks.
I got it all in there, and I got it spinning.
Look what I've done. I've done this. I'm like, oh, thanks. And he's like, well, that should be floating your boat, but that's not my love language. Mine is quality time. So
we've got to spend time together.
Spending time together is what is my love language. So
once you know that, you can sort of look after and fill each other's cup. So let's ask Michael Walz, what's important in a relationship, right?
Well, I think you guys have touched on it all, but it is that respect. I know, if a man is going to talk to her friends, it's the same thing. Can we go to dinner time? Of course, you can go to dinner. Like, why are we even talking about this? But yeah, look, we always seem to be aligned. and it's just busy, always on the go with kids.
Well, you got 1,000 of them. Right?
I've only got 5.
It must feel like 1,000 at some point.
It is. No, look, it doesn't. They're really good kids.
Beautiful.
You know, we work well as a team. You know, picking kids up from school, getting the dinners, and they're always off at one sporting event. None of them can play the same sport. They've got to do 3 different sports. So it's all over the place. This Valentine's Day, my 7-year-old picked out the present for my wife Amanda. It was a pantsuit, and you know it's the normal paintings and all the rest of it. But Amanda got to go and see the other side of gifts this year. She did some work for Sarah from Little Bloom Room and delivered the flowers to all the lucky recipients in Gladstone. So it's seeing the other side as you're giving a gift of their reaction.
Special.
Yep,
Special.
amazing.
Hey, Harry, all the way from Sydney, property developer down there in Sydney. Isn't that good, eh?
It was, yeah.
Wow. Well done.
They well spent.
Well done. And look, I know Valentine's Day, they say it's commercial. I set a room up really specifically for the Urala girls.
Okay, yeah.
And they really, it felt like a really nice way to start the day, you know. And
it's little things.
It doesn't take much, right?
No.
Because it just shows you care a little bit, I think.
It doesn't have to be the gifts, the money. It's the little things you do. It mightn't be the stacking of the washing machine. But, you know, it's those little things.
That's right. Now, mate, while you've got the floor, talk us through it. and thank you, baby. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome. Is that it? I'm done now?
Oh, Julie Guinea.
No, I'll just sit back now.
Yeah, just enjoy it now.
Tick.
Pressure's off.
It wasn't that hard.
No, it wasn't that hard.
Great co-interview. Maybe you should do my public speaking program.
Oh, I have no problem standing in front and talking to people. No problem. I can do that with my eyes closed.
You just don't like this video.
You just don't like this video living stuff.
Right. So, Michael, AT Queensland.
So,
talk us through it, mate.
Apprentices and Trainees Queensland. So it's a new name to an old business. So it's the old Gladstone area group apprentices. We've been around for 34 years, delivering apprentices and trainees to businesses in the region, and a new name just before Christmas. Apprentices and Trainees Queensland.
Wow. And why the name change?
We've got offices in Gladstone, Biloela and Rockhampton, so it just makes it a little bit easier to try and get those people into apprentices and trainees in those areas, especially if we haven't got the Gladstone name, which is understandable when we work in those regions.
So someone comes to you, Michael, and says, you know, I am struggling with my workload. I feel like I've got a role here for a trainee. What's the sort of the process and what goes?
So look, we'll go and do an assessment of that company and see, you know, a bit of an analysis. What do they really need? What can help them? And that depends. It might be a trainee. It might be an apprentice. And every business is different. The cultures are different, and the people we can get are different. So we'll do that. We'll then look for the right candidate for that business. But we supply apprentices and trainees. We supply some businesses with just one, up to, I think, one site. We've got 24 on one site. So we'll supply, you know, anyone in between.
And to all industries, to all
exactly.
businesses.
So that's big industry, that's contractors, that's accountants. I think we've got a couple of admin staff with accountants. That's retail. Yeah, so look, it's a wide cross section. There's so many different traineeships. I think we've got a couple of IT guys. I see Chantel Lane on there before. We really appreciate GEA's business. They've taken a trainee office recently, so you know, all working together. It's good.
And what I love about that is the collaboration between AT Queensland and GEA, and you and Chantel in a workshop that I was involved in this week really spoke well about how that collaboration is going to work, and the fact that what I love. Can I give you a rap? Is that all right?
I love it.
Yeah. Stop it. Hey, Ash Glass, one of the fittest men in Australia when he hasn't got a bad name. What I love about you, mate, and I said this in the workshop, is that you are very much others focused. You're one of those guys, and there's not many of you around. I've got a great mate, Spears, who I say is a lot like you, and I've told you that before. Collaboration is my key word for 2020.
Yep, spot on.
And what I love about it, though, is Chantel says that and lives it.
Yep. And
you do too. You say, we want to collaborate, and then you go and do it, right? And as a board, so you're on our board, which I don't know if I've mentioned to people. So Michael really helps us, and we value his input. All Michael says to me when we meet regularly, how can I help you? What can I? Here's some ideas that you can go and put in your business, which we action all the time. Where's that come from, mate? Where's the focus on others come from? What's the
I think it's one of the mantras that tie everything together that I try and do. And the more you give, it seems to multiply as it comes back to me. So the couple of little things that I do for you, it comes about 3 or 4 come back to me. So you know, I'm trying to do that with every business that we come in contact with, and some of them don't even take apprentices or trainees from us at this stage. So if I can help them though to grow their business or make a contact that I may have or give them an idea, I want to share that. And if their business can do better, I think long term our business will as well. And that's what we want to do.
It's a great attitude, mate. And Chantel says, Michael's given me some great ideas. See, and that's a really nice wrap. It's a nice wrap. Kelvin, Brute, and Julie, your bros on, and Kelvin's son Michael's on too. And you know, I love that. The more you give, the more you get, right? And it's a pretty special.
I don't know the science behind it, but it seems to work.
It's the law of reciprocity, right?
It is. And again, the reciprocity. It doesn't have to be a gift. It's like we spoke about before. It doesn't have to be a gift. It can be an action. It can be words. It's Maslow's pyramid. Exactly. And they're little things. We don't have to buy something for someone else. We can just do something good for someone else, and it will come back.
I agree, mate. And what they say is there's 3 things you can give. You can give your time, your talent, or your treasure. And so time and talent, I think, are most important because your treasure's easy. You know, it's easy to say, well, here's my business or whatever, or here's something I can donate because it doesn't take much effort. Time's a commitment. It's our resource that is important, and our talent is really important too because you've got, you know, and look, you'd probably be quite humble about this, but you know, you had a really successful business career that some people there might or might not know. And what you've learnt in your business career, I think, would be significant.
Yeah, I don't think it was me. I think it was everyone else around me. I think I think I was just the conduit of good people constantly. So I'm always looking at how can we improve someone else around me, because if they do well again, I will do well. And that's what we've got to constantly do, constantly looking at, okay, what can I do to lift these people up around me? And then the next ones below them will come up and we'll just keep going. And that's what we all should do.
That's leadership 101.
So I don't think it was me at all.
Well, I know, that's what I mean. You're going to be really humble, and you've told me that before. I'm going to say that you've probably had a fair bit to do with it, some of the business success you've had. What is it for you? So we've done the love and a bit of life. Let's go back to leadership now, and let's be specific around leadership. Yes, lifting people up around you. Yes, helping them succeed and become better versions of themselves. A lot of our work is with high-performing teams.
Yep.
So good leaders call us in because they say, we're already there, we want to get a little bit higher.
Yep.
Not much of my work is the teams internally.
Yep.
What is it for you? Because you would have had high-performing teams. What is it for you that creates a high-performing team?
There's a number of factors. A simple little acronym, TIES. So trust. Trust has to be at the top. We can't expect trust. We can't take trust. We can't teach trust. We've got to give it first to get it. Yeah. Trust has to be the first one.
Beautiful. Like in any good relationship.
Yep. The next one I work on is inspiration. So again, it keeps coming back to, if I don't have to tell someone, if someone's on the same journey, we can all see, that could be a soccer team. My young bloke's coaching a soccer team at the moment. It's, how can you bring everyone along the journey? And that's the same in business, whether you're training for a triathlon or what you're doing. It's, if we can get that inspiration, it makes everything else easier. Everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We're all pushing in the same direction, obviously.
Yep.
Hey, Benito, how are you, man? And the E, you said ties?
It's engagement, but we want to get it's enablement. So we want to get everything out of the way. So we might have a task to do right now. You'll do it one way. I'll do it a different way. We'll do it 10 ways. We'll still get it the right way. Yeah. Let's just get out of the way and let our good people do what they can do. And if they need some tools, they need something, let's get the tools to them and let's get everything out of the way to enable them to do their job. Don't come in and micromanage, I guess. I like to get out of people's way. And again, that's why I think I don't do a lot. I get out of the way and let all the good people do what they do.
And the word micromanaging came to mind when you said that. Don't micromanage as a leader. Let people do their thing. And I think a good question that I ask my team is, what can I do to make your work easier? How do I support you to do a good job for you? Mark and Mel Whitmore, thanks for doing that. And I think that's a good question for a leader. What can I do to support you? It's your job. You know it better than I do. I'm only the whatever I am. You're the person there at the front line. What do you need?
And the last one is set the standards. So, and again, that comes back to the trust again. Everyone wants to be if we come back to trust, everyone wants to be in a community where they're safe, where there is trust, they know what's going on. And you need to set that standard. So, if you're late to work, you can't expect everyone else to be on time. So set the standard. And then ties it all together. The ties is the relationships. What can I do for you? What can I do for others? Wrap it all up.
I love it.
Pretty simple.
I know. It's a great acronym, though. Can I borrow that?
You've got it.
Great. Thanks, bro. 10%.
I hope it works. It works for me.
Absolutely. Hey, RJ, opening batting. Urella, what a batsman back in the day. Not our best fielder back in the day, RJ, I must say. We used to hide him. Where did we hide you? Fine leg, I think, RJ, back in the day. Anyway,
he really does like Robbie Johnson.
Oh, did I sound like I didn't? No, I love RJ.
Where do we hide you, Robbie?
No, hiding on the cricket field.
I know.
Hiding on the cricket field.
He's just switched off.
Yeah.
That's it.
We've gone from
He's
10 to
tuned
9.
out, straight down. He said, buggy
Actually, and can I just actually talk about RJ and Shuvie and a lot of the Gladstone cricket community who came together recently for a guy called Mal Carline, who had a stroke. He's our age, and he had a stroke, and he's trying to recover in Bundy and Brizzy, and it really, because we went out and we did a fundraiser for him, and I was on the mic, and all the old cricketers from back in the day got together, and it was actually, hey Chris Ratton, how are you, mate, from Aztec? It was just a bit of a sad day. I was speaking on the Sunday, and that was the Saturday, and I actually used that story because I really felt quite mortal when you see someone our age and suffering as badly as that. A stroke's pretty it's pretty permanent for Mal. It's going to be a long-term recovery anyway. So, and Robbie was there, and he took to the field, and Shuvie was there. Shuvie dropped about 13 catches in a row, and I said, hit it to Shuvie. Steady was there, and it was a trip down memory lane. So Michael, what's so let's get out of leadership just for a second. Let's talk AT Queensland. And you talked about vision. What's the vision for ATQ, mate? What do you want to do?
Look, it's if we start at the roots, like it hurts when you see you put an ad out there and you get 200 applicants of good people that want to work. They want to upskill themselves. They're capable. They've got skills. They're pretty switched on. They've passed all the academic stuff. Just that we haven't got enough jobs for them. So we really work on our clients so we can get more positions. And look, over the last 6 months, we've brought on board 7 new clients. I think in the region we've got 20 new positions that weren't there before. So, companies are coming on board. They are seeing the value that apprentices and trainees do offer their businesses. That's what we really focus on, is building that side up so that I can put more of these people that want the jobs into jobs. Yeah.
Really special thing, because I remember, g'day Richard Steele, and I remember back in the day, mate, when we were apprentices, companies have put on 20 at a time, 30 at a time, and over the years that's really dropped off, right, in big organisations. And I'm seeing that come back up a little bit. And I remember back, I applied to you guys back in the day, but I was lucky enough to get it on QAL because you just started out with a few years in.
So no, we're keeping the trend. I think as a state, it's a little bit in decline, but we're keeping the trend here, and I think it's the businesses in our region. Things aren't easy for them, but you know, they're giving back.
That's right, and you've got such a 34 years in business. That's a big deal, man. Good, that's something to be proud of.
35 this year. Later this year, 35.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. It is. And look, as we start sort of thinking about wrapping up this afternoon, 2 trainees and apprentices out there. Let's speak to them just for a sec. So there's this.
I understand. Like things are hard. Like there's not enough jobs. I guess don't give up. Keep trying. Look at what you can do to elevate yourself amongst the pack. And like when it's difficult, if I'm only employing one, which is pretty sad. It hurts me every time when I'm only employing one, and I've got to tell 199 that I can't employ you. And there's absolutely. No, it's difficult to work out that one, and it's a privilege and that's what I've been saying lately, it's a privilege for the ones that do get through, like you're at that level. Look, things aren't easy. Just keep trying, keep looking at how you can upskill yourself. Later on this year, hopefully we're going to run some more programs that'll get more people into traineeships in the region. Talking to some of our clients, they want some more programs, so that's what we'll look out for them. And hopefully we'll get more and more people on those.
Beautiful. Julie West just joined us too. Thanks, Julie. Actually, we got 7, we had 10 on live. And TGG will put our hand up too, mate. We'd love to work with you. So, and I just give AT Queensland a shout out. When Michael talks collaboration, he really means that, because we've actually come on board and done some work down at AT Queensland Boardroom, which is a beautiful room. And so, and really enjoyed doing that, Nick. And you've got some great staff who've come through. You're so lucky.
You mentioned Linda Ninnis earlier, so I'm lucky enough to work with Madison. Helps do some marketing and whatnot.
She's amazing.
Yep, excellent.
She's amazing, and she came through one of our programs, and her little sister was in the session last night.
Yep.
So, and she's just as bubbly and as outgoing as Madison. And you know, when you're bringing people like that through your business. Because she's 18, 19?
19, I think.
And you'd never know. She's mature above the years, right? And so even people in your business are a great advertisement for your business, which you need them to be, Because if they're not living the values, it's really hard for you to go out and sort of preach the message.
No. Again, I'm lucky. There's a lot of good people around.
Right. And it's not by accident, right? Hey, Catherine. And I think what I sort of aspire to, like people, and we're going to be a small organisation, we're 4 or 5 different times. Everyone knows their values and everyone signs onto our team charter. And we talked about trust, and we talked about integrity, and we talked about all of those things. And Alison and I and Leslie and other people in our business are actually, we're sort of living, breathing examples of that. When we talk to our clients, we're all talking the same language. And what I also say, Michael, is that, and I said this to the Uralla team the other day, so if you can imagine the fitness centre with its team building for them, every single one of those fitness team members is actually a salesperson.
Yes.
Everyone's a BD
promoter.
A promoter. Yeah. And the way that you get people to promote your business is to support them, to love it, because when they love it, they become a messiah for the message I say. Cool. All right, Bobby grew a great business. Have you seen Gladstone Flooring Extra's new building out there?
I haven't seen the building. I've seen a couple of their utes getting around though. They stand out.
And their area manager or area salesperson, Lucy Carter, has just moved over to. I've got a bit of reference check for the other day. Where's she now, Jules?
Yeah, you can tell me. I can't remember.
What's that clothing brand? Billabong or whatever it is? Ripco, not Billabong. And Georgia Louise, so Sharon Johnson's daughter's joined us.
Yeah.
All right, let's start wrapping up. Go.
One more thing. I'm not sure if Chantel's still there, but we have got a collaboration day coming up. We're putting on a movie night at the Marina. Do you remember? I believe it's the 21st of March. I'll have to put something on Facebook now that I've said it. I'm pretty sure it's the 21st of March, and it's a collaboration between ourselves, Guild GEA, GAPDL. There is one more. I'll put it on Facebook. But yeah, we're doing a movie night. It is to raise money for the Mayor's drought appeal and all those business. Chantel, yes, 21st. Thank you. So yeah, if everyone can share that and keep that night available, I think it'd be a great night, movie night for the kids. That's good.
And you'd have a Facebook event, I'm sure Maddie's
We
got
will,
that.
and Chantel will as well.
Good stuff, Chantel. So, Julie, let's just jump back to you, baby cakes.
Yes.
GCCI, who you forgotten? Yeah, Jodie.
Oh, sorry. Thank you,
Chamber.
Jodie. Thank you
Good
very
job.
much.
Absolute. Chamber's fantastic.
Yes.
Julie Guinea.
Yes.
So, in final words, babe, talk us through it. Love.
About what?
Love.
Love.
Hey, actually, can I just ask you?
Yeah.
So, you're teaching 13 years?
15.
15!
Very close.
Very close.
15 at St. John's.
And you didn't start your teaching degree till 30?
No, I only started studying at 30. So I started my degree I started working at 35. Turned the big 5-0 this year. 5-0. See?
And you're only as old as the woman you feel.
I don't know. It's some stupid saying.
Because you're way older than me, right?
Oh, yes. Apparently way older.
So does that make you a cougar?
Well, actually, yes. And Anton's mum, maybe, when Anton first said, I met this chick, you know, and at the time I was 20, I just turned 20, and Anton was still only 17, because there's 2 years and 3 months between us. And she said, oh, that's lovely. And how old is she? Oh, she's 20. Oh, she's far too old for you. I'm like, yeah, well, Maves, I'm still here. 30 years down the track. So I don't think those 2 years and 3 months made no difference. No.
That's right.
So, yes, Cougar, that's me.
Cougar, good on you.
Yeah.
Now, from a teaching perspective, we see all these little human beings around. Hello, Mrs. Guinea.
I know, I just saw 3 of them
I know.
riding back there.
We can't go to the movies. We can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It must be a good feeling.
I love what I do. I love where I work, and I love what I do. So I've always said it doesn't. I've always said if I had lost that passion, I don't think I could actually stand up in front of a class and do it, because it's a tough gig, and it is a hard gig. And, you know, if Zach was here, he'd say, but you only work 9 to 3. And
He's not the gift of feedback.
Oh, yeah. As most people do, go, you only work 9 to 3.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Even Anton will tell you, not really, a little bit more than that. But, you know, I genuinely love going to school every day and love the kids. Even today, the kids are working. I said, yeah, well, you're a great bunch of kids. And I really enjoy teaching them, and they're a lovely bunch of kids. It's a great school. Yeah, there we go, St. John's.
Oh,
just a little plug there. Great staff, great school. So I'm extremely happy staying and work and being there. So it's not work when you love it, like you were just saying, Michael. So, you know, woman of many talents. I'm the DJ. You know,
I'm the soccer coach.
I'm the soccer coach. You know, all of those things.
When did you start taking on all this soccer? When did you become a soccer coach? What's that all about?
I don't know, because I've never played soccer. However,
that's what I mean.
I think it was when Zach was in grade 7. He's now 20. So we're talking 8, 9 years ago, and Jackie said, oh, well, you're going to be there anyway watching Zach, so you may as well coach him. So I've been doing that ever since. And then Catherine Rooney and myself, we both do it now. So although Des Langdon says we're the 2 screaming banshees on the sideline, so we're just offering encouragement, that's all. You know, especially when you're coaching girls who can't play or have never played, and you're trying to keep your feet on the ground. So, you know,
give them the gift of feedback, though.
It is. Good. But it's a great job. I love it very much. So, yeah.
And chess club too.
Oh, and chess club, yes. I ran chess club after school as well. So, yeah,
so good.
One of my other many talents.
And I think schools would struggle without, you know, all of this extracurricular people sort of, and teachers taking on the extra workload.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that people, unless you're married to a teacher, you don't sort of see all of that stuff. And I suppose Jules gets emails at all times of the day and night that you know, there's an expectation that she'll respond to
anytime.
Yeah, that's right. That's and good on Jules, she does. What I love about it,
I know exactly what you're going to say. That school, 30 years being together, I know exactly. He's about to say, you know what I love most about teachers is they correct your grammar all the time.
Oh,
Is that it?
I was not going to say that.
Oh,
at all.
you're bullshit. You were saying.
I might, Brian, smell how I accent. So,
Oh.
Michael, you might or might not be able to relate to this. Like I'll say to Jules, me and Tobes. So me and Tobes are going out.
Isn't that?
And I hear the Toby and I go, oh, you and Tobes going too. And so I try.
Or them. I'm just going to get them things. I said, there are no them things. It's those. So we get the grammar lesson. Oh, righto, grammar Nazi.
It's like the grammar police. Julie, Guinea on my way.
There's nothing like speaking correctly. That's all I can say.
And my mum is a teacher too.
Oh, there you go.
I know.
Surround yourself with it.
know. So I went to Nudge for a year and a half before they thought that it'd be better if I got educated elsewhere at another institution, which was interesting. Great school in Brisbane. And when I came home, because my grandma's never been really anything other than Aussie Ocker, my mum still, literally 30 years later, it was our 30-year reunion last year. What'd she say, mate?
20 grand I paid for that.
She reminds me regularly. 2 years
20 grand
ago.
I paid for that.
10 grand a year. 20 grand. This is what I got.
She's never going to see again.
It's money that's
I
like,
never paid for that.
you believe it.
But the one I have in class all the time is, I bring this in, and I used to when we had dictionaries, now we've got iPads, I say, you know what? First one who can find me bring in the dictionary, I'm going to give you $100. And they're flicking through like this. It's not in there. And I said, wow, fancy that, because it's not a word. That you have brought or you bring. You can't bring anything. So we slowly get that one out of there. Takes a while.
Kelly
I'm
Johnson.
still working on it.
Yeah, still working on
her
it.
husband.
Those, not them.
Now, Michael Walz, closing words, mate. For all, actually, can I just prompt you? If it's okay. So there's probably plenty of young leaders out there. There's so we just did a public leadership program a week or two ago, and thank you for some advice on that. And you changed the program, and I've given you some thanks for that. Plenty of young leaders. Paul Beach, hey mate, aspiring to, let's say, be CEO of AT Queensland or to be a consultancy business, or just to work their way up through an industry that we've got here in Gladstone. What's some advice that you might share with them?
Look, it's constant work. It's looking at where they are weak, and it's doing courses, it's reading. Probably courses are the best one to lift. But at that same workshop this week of GEAs, we had David Nunn from High Risk Solutions, and what I found interesting there was he's used people around him over the last 7 years as mentors to mentor him, and now he's giving back to others to mentor and lift them. So the same thing, if you can find a mentor, and there's a lot of people around that are willing to help, give up their time to mentor and help, take advantage of it. And you don't know unless you ask. So if you see someone that you think would help or you would thrive from, you've got nothing to lose. Just ask them, and the worst they can say is no, they're busy, and that's not the worst thing. It doesn't matter.
That's right. There's
always no until you ask.
Well said, buddy.
So there's a lot of, and again, David is one of them. There's a lot of good people around that will give up their time.
Isn't that? And I loved his business story.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he talked about the first time he met you.
He still remembers. He remembered the exact spot that I said. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I love the fact that he said his business is growing because he just keeps banging doors down. Like he
doesn't give up.
Never gives up. And I think persistence is an important. Actually, it's funny you should mention that, Michael Walz, because I'm just going to, sorry, Jules and Michael, I'm just going to quickly show you, and this is just giving our leadership program a quick wrap. It's funny you mentioned then, learn, go and continue to learn. Because guess what? The very, very first thing is, I don't know if this is around the right way. Element number one, go and learn. Go and learn about yourself. Go and learn how to be a great leader. Go and learn what Michael Walz has done to build an ATQ. Go and learn what another GM's done so that you can apply that in your own life. Because I feel like this is a true story, man. I can seriously go around the room. When I start a session, I'll ask them questions like favourite food, and I'll do last book read. There's people out there that can't tell me the last book they read.
Yeah.
And I go, WTF, seriously. Because there's so much information on the front. Or even just audio book it.
Yeah.
Because you and I audio book and podcast.
Audiobook.
Yeah, and I am too. But there's people.
First thing that comes on in the car.
Exactly.
It's automatic.
Me too. Your car's a uni, right? And my current one is Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. So, team, it has been fantastic, Michael Walz.
Very good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on, baby. I can't reach over there.
No.
Good on you. I'll give you a kiss tonight. Aren't you lucky?
Counting the blessings.
All right, team. You aren't Shepherd. Thanks for joining us. Joanne's done some work for the Guinea group too, and Robbie Summerfield, nicest kid that Zach knocks around with, I reckon. Said with love, and sorry about all these other mates who I know and love. Robbie, you are a nice guy. Team. Michael, Julie.
Thank you.
Thanks, team.
Bye.